All right, Cameron, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the podcast. Excited to have you here.
What's going on, man? Happy to be here. Let's do it.
And thank you again, considering I was very late for this call, but didn't want to miss out because when I first saw a training you gave, you were probably one of the most tactical, like systems and operations people that I'd seen just like walk through systems. And I think that's what you also help people with, and use it for your own business. But for those that haven't seen any of your trainings, could you give a quick overview on who you are, what you do, and I guess why you enjoy it?
All right, cool. Yeah, no problem. Thank you again for having me. My name is Cameron Williams. I'm the owner of Kinley Consulting. We're located in North Atlanta, down in Georgia. And we own a fractional CFO and consulting firm. Of course, we do some accounting, some tax strategy as well. Been doing this for going on year 7 in July, I believe it'll be. So I've been doing this for a while, but I've been in accounting my whole life, ever since I was in college. Um, while I was getting my or probably before that, I think before I even finished my bachelor's, I was already working in the field doing taxes. First career job while I was getting my master's in accounting was working for a CPA firm. So that was a very cool experience because you learned really quickly that what they teach you in school is not how it really works in real life. Like they teach you, oh, audits, you're going to go catch the bad guy. Yeah, I remember going to my first audit and my boss was like, Cameron, we're not trying to catch anybody and make them feel bad. We're going to make the suggestion and that's it. These people pay us a lot of money. I was like, what? So there's that. But no, I've been in accounting ever since then. I graduated in fall of 2011. So prior to that, and ever since then, I've been in accounting in some type of capacity. Worked in public accounting, which is like your CPA firms that do like the accounting, the bookkeeping, the taxes, and audits. Then went into private accounting, which is, like the accountants that work at Coca-Cola or the accountants that work at Chick-fil-A corporate. So I moved around in a couple of roles, worked my way up to supervisor in the number one car processing company in the world over the Canadian division. And then a part of my story is I got let go. They did mass layoffs with everybody that was a supervisor. So, and we didn't know, so it was super scary. But like on the same exact day, 3 of us got fired for the same exact reason, the same exact write up, the whole nine. Which, if you ever know anything about that, like nobody gets written up for the exact same thing. But we didn't know this until after the fact. So ironically, had my second kid who is now 7. Right after, so that was scary to be like, I don't have no job, but I'm finna have a second baby. Um, and then a couple of months later, started Kinley, which would have been July of 2018. And we've just grown and adapted and evolved ever since then. So that's a super short overview of my story. Our main focus and niche that we like to help is marketing agencies and coaches. We just think there's a lot of value that we can provide there. It's been great for us when we did that. That's when our business took off versus kind of focusing on helping everybody. So yeah, that's pretty much
Cool.
us.
Awesome. I guess just starting out with like your direction, a lot of people that we've talked to or had on the show, they've also struggled with picking a niche, and then once they did, they saw big gains come from it. So can you talk about? But also on the other hand, there's plenty of business owners that we know that they're scared or they don't want to do that for some reason. They feel like
Yep.
they're going to leave money on the table. So can you maybe talk about your logic behind it and your process to do it, and then like what the benefits were once you actually jumped into it?
Ooh, okay, good question. So first and foremost, shout out to my guy Cameron Montgomery. That's where I kind of solidified that. Ironically, our niche before him was recruiters, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work. What made me come to marketing was I talked to my mentor, which, by the way, if you're any business owner, I believe you should have multiple. And I was like, what should I pick? And she said, well, why not marketing? And I'm like, well, why you say marketing? And she was like, well,
Hmm.
I think based on your personality type, who you are as a person, it would just fit. They're typically younger, family oriented, they make a lot of money, so there's a lot of opportunity to do some cool things. Versus recruiter, she's like, they don't really fit you because they're gonna try to nickel and dime and like argue you down and negotiate because that's what their job is for their clients. So she was like, I think you enjoy it. And then worst come to worst, she like, do it for 6 months. If it don't work, you ain't married to it, so pick something else. So I said, all right, cool, I'll do it. And I think it was just a blessing in disguise. That's when our business really took off. And I think you have to just really overcome the mindset that I think you think if I pick this niche, then I tell everybody else no, and I'm gonna lose out that kind of scarcity mentality. But honestly, I make more money now just working with agencies than I did when I tried to appeal to everybody. Because if you talk to everybody, you talk to no one, right? So in our particular case, it was just the smartest thing to do. You know, for us, I believe now your marketing is targeted. Think about it. Like even McDonald's, they don't try to appeal to everybody. If you really look at it and start to understand marketing, they're appealing to people who have kids, more than likely. You just need something fast and it's food. And we'll put the kids meal in there, or at least when I was a kid, they used to promote the kids meal type stuff a lot more. Now in the commercials, I just see just the regular food. But you have to talk to somebody specific. They need to feel like you're talking to me and talking about my issues. So before we may just say something general, well, I mean, you can hope, and we did have people reach out, but when we start saying, hey, marketing agencies, or hey, this $1 million marketing agency said this, and I know you will understand, guess what? Everybody who's a marketing agency is going to be like, wait, let me see what he's saying. Or everybody who's making 7 figures, let me see what he's saying. Everybody who wants to make 7 figures, let me read this so I can kind of see. Those are the types of things that I think it helps you. And then, of course, you get to charge a premium because now you get to say, hey, I'm not this general guy that uses some cookie cutter strategy for everybody. No, we help this particular person. And because we do that, we do it at such a high level that we can command higher prices. And on the team side, it makes it a lot easier for them because they see the same thing over and over, which means they can work faster versus if I was doing a marketing agency and then like a dog grooming place and then a fast food restaurant and then roofing and then like all of those have different things that you got to kind of learn and work through and try to finalize versus like 90 to 95% of our clients are marketing agencies. They all use the same type of tech, go to the same conferences, have the same struggles, use some of the same white labels. So it just makes it a lot easier because now my team is like, oh, okay, we already know when we see this, this goes here, there, and there. So I would suggest you do it because I think you can command not only a higher price, but it establishes you as somebody who focuses on me and knows my specific problem. We literally have people say, yeah, one of the reasons I reached out is because I saw that you focus in marketing agencies and I really want somebody who understands what we do.
100%. So many good points in there. So thanks for that. Something that we see a lot of business owners do, and there's mixed opinions on it, so I'm curious yours, is when someone is getting into business as like a newbie, they recommend, well, some people recommend pricing the same way. Other people recommend lowering your prices to get your first few customers, get testimonials, get referrals, get experience, and then raise your prices slowly over time. I'm curious if that's how you did it in your business, or if you didn't, but also if you recommend that to other people, other business owners.
I'll tell you what I did versus what I would tell somebody. So what I did, I think that we all do, right? You don't. I think that challenge is you don't know what to charge because you've been an employee your whole life. So in my case, you know, you think, oh, $35 an hour sounds like a lot of money. To most people, it is. But then I had to realize, like, I'm working for the number one card processing company in the world, not in Georgia, in the world. They paid me, I believe it was $70,000. But I was managing like $10 million across the 3 accounts I had. Some accounts were bringing in $1 million a day. We had to reconcile it in one day. So think about it. They're making that much, and I'm only getting paid this. So now that I'm the owner, like, no, my rate needs to go up. And I knew what my experience was. I knew my degrees. I knew what I had worked in. So then I had to slowly just come into the realization of like, no, I'm worth more than $35. I'm at, let me, so then they'd be like, double it. Ooh, 70. You like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But then I just kept going up and then we kind of switched our pricing. We don't do hourly, we do flat rate value pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something that you're just going to have to grow. And then, of course, your childhood plays a part. If you come from, I don't want to say come from money, but if your parents were fine, it's gonna be different versus in my case, like my mom had me at 19, it was her and my stepdad. We weren't like balling. We didn't have like, I had the worst house out of like all my friends. Like think it was a 3-bedroom ranch. My friends had like, cause we were like 2 houses within the like district line between like what they considered the bad or hood school and like the really prestigious school. I thought I was going to the bad school. Luckily got in, but all my friends had 2 and 3 level houses with basements and studio chairs. So to them, even our stories are different. So for me, I think you got to overcome what is my mentality and relationship with money, because that's probably going to affect us a lot. Then you're the owner now. You're not the technician. So your price should be different. What I would tell somebody now is you need to charge what you feel like you can charge. And you're probably not charging enough. But I think the best way is to probably just grow it over time. Like my rate today is nowhere close to what my very first client was $125 a month. I would not even take anybody or wake up for that at this point in my life. Not because I'm being cocky, but because I know how good I am now. I've saved somebody $150,000 on their taxes. I'm not doing that for $125 a month. So I think your confidence will grow over time. You will get your offer dialed in and know what you can offer and perfect those processes and systems. So then you can command more money because you're confident. I literally just got off a call right before this. The guy's like, I like what you're saying. I like the clarity. I like the presentation. You didn't contradict yourself. But that's because I've been doing it for almost 7 years. I perfected my package. I understand what you want and I can communicate it clearly. But that came with time. So if this is your first year, I'm not going to tell you just charge 100 and be happy somebody's paying for you. I would always tell people what I was told, which is get out of the emergency zone. Get out of, until you can pay your bills, you may have to take what you can. We need to eat, even if it's just oatmeal. Like that was my story. We had to eat grits 3 days in a row. That's not it anymore, but I've worked hard enough to where, okay, now bills are paid. Now let's get to where we can get cushion. Okay, now I got a lot of cushion. Okay, I need to take some of that and duplicate myself. Let me go get a team member that's in fulfillment. You don't need no executive assistant yet. You ain't that fancy. Get somebody that can double your workload because now you cannot work and work is still being done. So get somebody in fulfillment first. So now I maybe can only take on 12 clients. Well, guess what? Now we can take on 24. And then you keep growing that way. So anything is going to be a process as a business owner. Don't be scared of it. Don't run from it. Embrace the journey. It's what's going to make you better. It's what's going to help you to learn faster and serve your clients in the best way possible. I don't think I answered your second question, by the way. So,
No, you did. I mean, you did if you want to add more to it. But basically, the gist that I get, and I'd love your comment on this, is like you need to take care of your basic needs first. If you have nothing coming in and you're broke and your car payments due, like you need some money coming in.
Yeah.
And as you gain experience and gain skills and prove value to people, then you can basically show that. It could be testimonials, it could be just past work, and then from there, as your skills improve and your
I wouldn't even say testimonials because I don't even show, like the guy I just got off the call with, there was no testimonial I showed him.
I totally get
I
it.
think you have to communicate it in a confident and clear way and then be able to deliver. You can tell, think about it. I can get on the next call and just say, oh, it's going to be 2,000. It's really just, did you sell it well enough and close enough of the loops to where they believe that the value of what you're presenting is worth $2,000?
100%.
Now, I may charge everybody else $250. He don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this, you got to be okay with, you know what? I'm going to just throw it out there and see. But now you can't come across as, not confident or like you don't have systems or processes. So, and I think people can feel that when they're on a call. I want to feel, when somebody's selling me something nowadays, I want to feel confident. I want to feel like you're going to take this off my plate and you're going to handle it and all the things. You have to be able to communicate that in your way
Uh-huh.
Or else, no, you didn't really talk about this and all these other sales trainings I've done at this point.
Yep.
So I think again, it comes with the confidence. You can probably come out the gate and ask somebody, assuming they make enough money, I want $500 a month. I want 1,000, 1,500, $2,000, $3,000. You can't ask somebody for $3,000 and they only make 10 though. That's where that wisdom of doing it for so long can't do that. But
Yep.
now if they're making $1,000,000 a year, you asking for 1,500 is not a problem. But are you going to do it, or are you scared like, ooh, that sounds like a lot of money? I can do it for 550. They gonna be ecstatic. The client, oh yeah, sure, that's perfect. You gonna be like, oh man, wow.
Yep.
So you just have to figure out, what does that look like for you? What are you offering? Are you offering a commodity, something that anybody can do? Like all of these different factors play. If all you do is just bookkeeping, well, how are you positioning your bookkeeping? Because right now that may be a race to the bottom. There are some people out there who do books for like $80 a month. I wouldn't dare do it, but I don't try to sell bookkeeping either. So you have to figure out what sets me apart. What can I do differently that will make somebody want to work with me? What extra value can I give outside of, hey, you have a P&L and balance sheet? You realize they don't even read those most of the time. They don't care about them. They don't open them. They can't understand them. So that's not real value. But we were taught coming out of school, oh, this is the language of business. Yeah, but don't nobody know the language.
You mentioned that in some cases delivering pricing is a bit of a dance. How do you decide what you're going to price? Or do you prefer that they throw out the first number?
No. You dictate price because they don't know what they don't know. And think about it. So like, I'll use the guy I talked to today. Long story short, hey, my wife told me I need to come to you because she's keeping up with you on Facebook. She's talked to you. Cool, perfect. I'm in my marketing working. He tells me, hey, I need you to tell me your price. Normally, I don't come out with my price. It's not on my website because I want you to get on a call because I need to understand where, like a doctor, I can't just give you medicine. I don't know. Is it your kneecap? Is it your elbow? Is it your throat? Like, what is it? So I like to get him on a call and get that information so now I know what solution to give. So normally I would get on a call. He's like, hey, no disrespect to your sales process. I understand it, but we've been burned so bad. I just need to know pricing. So in my head, okay, this is either going to disqualify him real fast, which is cool because then I won't waste my time, or he going to be with it. Mm-hmm. I told him what those all three price points, he already identified. I need either price point 1 or price point 2. Cool. Now we got on the call today. Hey, I've been struggling because these people have ghosted me. By the way, accountants and bookkeepers, please stop ghosting your clients. You're making me rich doing it, but I'm just saying.
You're saying accountants and bookkeepers ghosting their own clients?
Yes. Happens all the time. We get so many people that do that.
Okay.
So you have that. So now I know there's a pain, which is communication, lack of response, etc. So I do my thing. I ask my questions. I'm going to determine this type of work fits in this package based on what you told me. So if they're like, I just need basics, nothing too complicated, just kind of the basics, but I just wanted to be clean. Okay, I know where to put them. If they start talking about tax strategy and projections and budgeting and I need somebody I can talk to and meet, okay, that's not the base, then that's this package and that is already at this certain price point. So I'm going to say, hey, it's this and this. Let's just use easy numbers. The cleanup will be, to do the whole year, be $3,500, and then every month it'll be, let's just say, $1,000 for easy math. I have already done the math to know what numbers work for me. And then it's on them to what I've learned, because what do we think when we're on that starting side? Oh no, they're just going to say no and walk away. What we typically hear, especially when you have business owners that are like legit making money, yeah, I really like what you're saying, but that price, that's kind of out of my budget. Then that's when you can start to know, okay, well, what do you have a budget for? So maybe I said 1,000. Well, I don't think I need the meetings and I don't think I need the videos. Oh, okay. Well, I can take those out and that drop them down to whatever that base price. So you'll notice, but a lot of people don't even have packages to start with. You don't even have price points to start with. So you have to get that stuff dialed in, or else everybody's going to be on a custom package and you got 17 different. No, we have 4 packages at 4 different price points for 4 different types of people. If you don't want the videos and the blah, 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 the projections, well, I'm not going to sell you that package because that's just going to confuse you. You never even mentioned it in the call. You just want basics. That's package 1. Just understand you're only going to get A and B, not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. And then they'll okay, cool, let's do it. So I think you have to be clear on what are you offering first. Is what you're offering of value? And then set your numbers. Even if you're starting out, okay, do 250, 550, and 1,000 to give them every single thing you can think of. Okay, after you get a couple clients of that, all right, let's go up everything by 100. Now it's 350, 650, 1150. And then work your way up to a number that is comfortable, gives you, because you got to remember, why do we need to charge the right rates? Because I need to give you the best tech. I need to get the best team members to help. I can't do that if I'm making pennies. I want to go out and get the best talent to help you so that you're not so dependent on me that if I leave, your world finna fall apart. I just did like a 2.5 week strategic planning and vacation so I could focus on 2025. Nobody left. None of the clients panicked because I've already taught them my team is here for you. I can be in a call away in a podcast, a conference. They're going to take care of you. But you got to understand, I got to pay my team. I got to pay for this tech. I got to pay for the fancy software to paint the pictures you want. So the best way I can do that is if I charge you a premium so you get those results. If I try to beat you with the race to I can do it for $100. What you gonna do for $100? Who can you pay for $100? Nobody.
100%. You mentioned different pricing packages. I'm curious, have you ever played around with different pricing that incents people to go with one option versus another? Or are you happy with any package that they go with? I've just seen some people do that. Some people have talked about it, but either way.
No, I don't really try to incentivize like my packages. I mean, of course, 6.5 years at this point. So based on and you have to do a lot of listening. Like, I would encourage you to think, what is your target audience asking for? If what they're asking for is something you can provide, what we like to do is like our middle package, because I don't sell the lowest, so I act as if I only have 3. I'm only going to that, we call it our legacy package. That's only certain circumstances. I must like you, some. Like you as a referral, etc. Technically, I only operate off 3. So that middle package, that's going to answer like 80 to 90% of every single thing that my target audience wants.
Yep.
The top package is 100% plus custom. So pretty much I know if you say these kind of few keywords, that's where you fit. So I don't really try to like game it to like the lowest package is $850, but if you just come up to the middle package for $1,000, I'm not trying to do you like they do you at the movies for like large popcorns, you know. No, we know what the value is. We track time for profitability. So I know on average, anybody at this type of package will be, 6 to 10 hours a month. What is the margins on that for this particular price point, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to kind of do that math to know for yourself. But I don't try to, I'm very transparent with my pricing. I don't try to, I guess, finesse the client because I feel like you're going to start the relationship off weird. Oh, well, it's this super duper calculate. This is going to be the price to get all the back work done. And then the price will then drop down to this number for monthly retainer, which includes everything we just talked about.
100%. What does your team look like now? You mentioned that once you get comfortable, you could step out of the business a little or double yourself. What does your team look like currently?
So right now we have a team of 5. So we have 4 accountants and an executive assistant, which she just got her promotion yesterday. So now she's the operations coordinator. But right now we have 4 accountants. I don't do any monthly accounting. None. I don't make any journal entries. I don't clear any feeds. None of that. I'm mostly at this stage of my journey coming in to do pre-close, to do month-end close, and then to do like the big quarter deep dive calls with the clients or jump on calls. When it comes to the daily keeping stuff clean, making journal entries, that's what the team is there for now. So that's why, like, I could be out for 2.5 weeks. Nothing's gonna get disrupted outside of I'm not about to meet with a client unless it's like super super urgent, and of course I can verify this is not really urgent or it is.
Gotcha.
So even when I just had me and one other person though, then it was okay. If we got 20 clients, you're gonna take 11 or 12. I'm gonna keep 8. Why? Because I know I still need to go market, do sales calls, etc. So I think that's the very first hire. I don't know why there's this trend now of getting an executive assistant. You're not that busy. Like, I've done it. You're not that busy yet. Get you another accountant that can take the actual work that takes time off your hands. So now you can do X amount more work, get paid that much more, and make everything work.
For sure. If you're not doing the accounting anymore in the day to day of the business, or you'll do month end closeouts, things like that, what activities are the best use of your time as a business owner?
So as a business owner, so again, in my particular case, I don't do any accounting. And for, mind you, what I say month end, as in I'm just reviewing.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going through the financials. Hey, team, you need to fix this, and this. Resend it. After that, I may do either the meeting with the client or send the client a video breaking it down. That's only parts I'm doing there. Where all of my time is going now, which is what you want to do as you continue to scale. The only way you scale is only 3 things. It's increasing team size, marketing, and sales. If you don't have any leads, you're not going to have any sales.
For
If you
sure.
don't have any sales, you can't hire people. So, and there's people out there, they'll even tell you, like, there's certain pockets of revenue where these things change. 0 to probably 200, 250, you can probably, like, will it. You probably can get away with, like, one person just, like, strong will, drive. When you get to that 500K-ish, you got to have a team because there's only so many hours in a day, and we have to start building systems and processes because I want my team to do it in the same manner I would. How can I catch mistakes if everybody does it differently? Nope, this is the way we do it.
Yeah.
And then that's how you can fill that out. That 500 to the million is just throwing more gas on the leads and the sales and continuing to build that team out. That's why now we have an executive assistant because we have over 50 clients. I can't keep all that in my brain. That's too much of me being in an email. I don't even handle my email anymore. That's her job. She just tells me, in your needs action folder, you got 3 things you need to look at. Other than that, she handles. So systems and what's important, sales is going to always be your number one thing. But if you don't have any leads, if you don't know how you're going to get your next client, then that's what you have to work on. That's how you get to those next stages and income amounts. I need to have 10 calls to close 4 leads or 6 leads or whatever. And then that's where the pricing comes in. Okay, well, for every lead I close, that's $1,000 or 500 or 3K or whatever. Now you can start being more predictable with your revenue. But a lot of people come out the gate struggling because they think, I'm the best bookkeeper. Nobody cares. You can go out there and say, bookkeeping is important on your Facebook post. You may get 1 like.
Yeah.
That's cool, but that's not what they care about. So what moves the needle? How do I get people to come or be open to me approaching them to fix the actual issues, pain points, and problems?
Yeah.
That's what gets you paid. That's what gets you out of that danger zone and paying bills and builds the cushion and allows you to facilitate your company to hire other people.
Gotcha. So I guess just any specifics that then is where you put your time and energy, like in a normal day, today, for example, we're doing a podcast, but is your job in the business mostly sales? Like if you had a pie chart of your time, where would your time be spent running the business?
Sales, marketing, consulting clients, coaching.
Okay.
Those are like my 4 areas. So right now I'm the only one on the team that does sales. So that's why I said, like I had a call earlier. I think after you, I have another call. So that's 2 calls today. Of course, me and my competitive nature, I want to close both of them. We closed the one before this. I want to close the one after. So there's the sales. Marketing. I'm the only one who does the marketing for our team. So, like, I think I pre-scheduled because I knew the day was going to be busy. I already pre-scheduled like 2 posts. So technically, those are already up doing what they do. Okay, coaching. I have coaches, so I may check in with them or update them. Like, I'll go say, hey, just close a new client at our middle package for this much and this much. They're going to do the whole, yay, we're so happy, dude, you're killing it. Cool. And update my internal docs. And then lastly, the consulting. Sometimes that's with the team. Like, they may be having a problem. Like yesterday, one of our newest people that we signed or hired in December, I'm looking at what she's doing. I'm like, why haven't you started working on this client? We've had him for like 2 weeks. She was like, oh, I didn't know we were supposed to start. To me, that's a process issue, system issue. How did you not know? We've had them for 2 weeks and they've been assigned to you. Oh, I thought we were still waiting on. There's no way. So see, I had to walk her, but she's only a month in. Mm-hmm. So there's that coaching to her. Or for like, there was this one question that one of my team told me a client asked. Like, they'll tell me the important questions. Okay, I'll respond to that. But like, I'm personally prepping for what are projections for the year for every client? What are their goals? So that's the high level stuff that the people on my team are not yet capable of doing in a way that makes me comfortable. So I have to still own that right now, which is fine because that's where I shine, just my personality type, is that communication, breaking it down, making it super simple to help the client to make more money.
Love it. Makes total sense. In your business now, you've mentioned sales and marketing and content pre-scheduled. What is the main way that you guys get customers, or main forms of marketing, main channels that lead to business?
For us, organic social has been amazing. Again, shout out to my boy Montgomery. Bro, you need to give me like rev share at this point. Like, I'm just plugging you so much. But he taught me from the jump simple marketing principles, which is you have to build an audience, because it doesn't matter if you're making these fire posts, nobody knows you exist. So grow your audience so you have somebody to market to, speak their language, and talk through the pain points. So that's been super huge. That's one way. Of course, referrals come. We don't get that many. I don't think it's indicative of our service. I just think A, I don't ask enough, and B, I just don't ask enough. And then C, what's worked really well for us is being in masterminds or conferences that are in your industry. Because remember, this is what I tell people. I don't need to go to an accounting conference. I already know accounting. Like, I don't need to go. I do need to go to a marketing conference though, because everybody there is pretty much my target audience. How do I get my name and my brand out there? Go to the conference where all the people are. Can you go speak there? That'll get you on stage in front of X amount of people. So those are the things that have also helped us, because now I get to go, oh, hey, what do you do? Everybody's going to be super friendly because that's why you're there anyway. And you get to talk, oh, I really need that. Or, oh, that would be amazing because I've had these issues. And I'm like, no, we can fix that. But now you just came back home with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 leads. So between those two, the conferences and mastermind, the organic social, the referrals, that's pretty much helped us to grow. This year we're trying ads as well just to see how that turns out. So we're super excited for what that'll bring in for us as well.
That's cool. Have you guys started ads yet, or mainly?
Yeah, we started them in December or the last week of like November. So it's kind of still in that learning process of learning whatever. But we've still had some calls from there. So as it's getting optimized, we're just getting better qualified leads. So we're excited about that, but we're not stopping. And this is what I always tell people too. As a business owner, don't do like I did when I first started. Oh, I'm going to just go to all these networking events in Atlanta and they're going to want to say I'm good. And no, I'll go to all those. I could come home with 20, 30 business cards and they turn into nothing. Don't just have one way to market, because if that one way doesn't work, you're stuck. You're stuck like Chuck. So I was always the type, I want to have 3 to 5 different ways to go out here and make money. So for me, that was the networking, the conferences, join a mastermind that's in your industry, the organic social, except the referrals. You want to have different avenues, because if one doesn't work in the manner you think, You just gonna not make money. In my case, you just gonna not have dinner today. Not an option. So make sure you diversify those so that you can be pumping time into each one, and they can always be working for you at the same time.
Gotcha. Just curious, like we've experimented with different marketing channels. With you guys, did you hire a marketing agency? Did you learn Facebook ads yourself? Did someone on your team learn Facebook ads? How did you go about, getting the ads stood up and run?
So for ads, the coach I had before Montgomery, he was supposed to teach it to us. My wife learned Russell Brunson's One Funnel Away challenge in like 27 days, and the guy wouldn't help us. So I was kind of turned off. And back then, I didn't have. Remember, I told you it was a struggle. So he was like, "You're gonna need $1,000." When I tell you, I about cried over letting that $1,000 go for ad spend, but it didn't work. We only had gotten one call, and the guy was like, "I don't currently make any money, but I'm thinking about making money." Bro, you're wasting my time. So for the longest, I've stayed away from it. Now, my new coach was like, "Hey, I think you should do it. It's a way to duplicate what we talked about: team marketing, sales. This is a way to get you more leads. You get more leads, you get more sales." So the copy was something I had because of my Facebook posts and just the training I've learned. Getting it actually in there wasn't as hard as I thought, but again, I got a coach for that. So technically, we're doing the ads, but of course, he's checking it every week and like, hey, let's make these changes. Um, I wouldn't suggest coming straight out the gate with paid ads though, because if your offer isn't a proven offer, aka if you haven't went out here and sold anything or you only got 2 or 3 clients, your offer's not proven. You need to know that whatever I'm pushing out there, this is what the people want, right? That's when you do ads. You throw the gas on after you've made sure it's worked several times. Something as simple as organic, is it going to be a longer term play? Does it take a while to really get it rolling? Yes, but it's probably the best benefit as long as you consistently work it.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. Last question, just operational question before we get you out of here. I feel like we could go for a long time and didn't even
I
get.
mean, I got like 15, I
No,
got like 15, 20 more minutes. We can keep rolling.
you're good, my man. I want to make sure, especially because we were late today because of me. So, um,
I got 15 minutes. Ask away. The people want to know. Let's do it.
I love it, man. And just a quick comment: Cameron Montgomery is the man. His programs are awesome. That's how I first saw your stuff. But you mentioned like a few different times the value of like teams, like building a business that can run without you, which is amazing that you've been able to do. Something that I've seen in all different industries and my own business from like different businesses I've had is some customers they just want to speak with the owner, especially if the owner is part of the marketing or the face of the brand that they feel like they need to have some contact with that person. And I know you're not doing the return, so you're not the point of contact and main communication. So how do you set that up from an expectation standpoint and then also just like an operational standpoint that you're not going to be needed or pulled into calls to just talk to clients or work things out that aren't on a high level?
I think there's several components to this. One, so I also have a leadership coach, all in the same program. So one of the things he said, and we just talked about this yesterday, is you got to remember you're not a superhero. You don't have the cape in your closet. If you really look at it, a lot of us get some type of dopamine hit or something. And of course, this goes back to your childhood and those different things. But like some of us, I get happy when I solve the problem or when I fix the problem. I like to be looked at as the one who can solve it and save the day. You have to literally break that mindset because, to your point, every client I want to talk to you. Well, when we're on the sales call, I'm already setting the expectation. Hey, I have a team. You're going to be in a Slack channel with my team. They're going to answer you first. They're going to know your accounting and your numbers even better than I will because they'll be working on it on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. They're going to be your first point of contact. I will be in the Slack channel, but they're probably going to answer first. I'm already setting that. Now we have it to where they run the onboarding call. I will be there at the beginning to say, hey, how you doing? So glad, small talk. This is all the people on the team. They're going to be the ones working with you. I'm going to be there for the overall consulting and strategy. but these are going to be your people. So there's not a disconnect there. Now, will they still tag me in Slack? Yeah, but I've already taught my team. I don't care if they tag me. If you can answer that question, you answer it. Because I'm going to try to position you guys as the geniuses, that you guys are just as smart as I am. Now, of course, if there's something urgent or if there's something super high level that only I would know, well, then of course I'm going to come in and answer. But I think you just have to set that expectation. Of course, I'm the one that they're going to meet. I'm going to be on the sales call. But I just try to set it up really early. My team is more than capable. They can do it. They got your back. And I believe and I trust in them. And once you do that, that's fine. But a lot of people do the opposite. Well, I'm going to always be there for you no matter. No, I'm not. I'm not. I have a young family. You know, I got a 9, a 7, and a 2.5-year-old. I'm not trying to be on every single thing to show you that we have it. No. And then I've also found the more money they make, they understand that a lot better. If they're making over, 30K, they're like, okay, yeah, cool, that makes sense. Will we just be, if I wanted to speak to you, could I? Well, yeah, I got a link, we can book time, that's cool. But the people who tend to make 30K plus, they don't really get upset about that. Versus the people who are under like 15K, they're the ones. Like we had a lady, I'll never forget because I just told her no. She was like, well, we make 10K. And so I asked like, well, what are you expecting?
Sorry, real quick. Is that 10K a month or a year or?
10K a month.
Okay, got it.
And she was like, I want to be able to talk to you every week and go over numbers, and I want you to be able to go in our our accounting email and do. I said, well, and I was trying to be nice, like, we don't normally do that part. Oh, okay, well, I can do the email part. Okay, but I was like, we don't do weekly calls. Like, we do quarterly ones. Maybe we can do a monthly one, but we're not doing weekly. Okay, and am I going to be talking to you directly? No, you won't. Not unless it's... Because you have to set that expectation, because I could already tell, because I've done it for a while, you'll learn, like, what are flags for you. You're basically telling me you're going to be kind of needy, and you're not going to want to talk to my team when I've already told you I got a team. My team is qualified. I taught them myself, so I know they're good. So in a case like that, I just had to tell you, you know what? I don't think we're going to be a good fit. Or my favorite, you can just set the price high enough to where they're going to disqualify themselves. Hey, the upfront fee is going to be, in her case, because I knew she was making 10K, upfront fee is going to be like $3,000, and the monthly is going to be, I don't know what I told her, like $1,000. She was like, I just don't know. In my head, I'm like, So you can go at it anyway. But my main point is, like, you just have to have those boundaries. And I think you just have to you have to know within yourself what you are and are not willing to accept and handle. But I think communication is always the way to go.
I love that, man. I had one other question, I guess, somewhat related to that, and also on connected to systems and tech a little bit. But you mentioned once you get to different thresholds of number of clients, you bring in people. And in any business, but specifically accounting and bookkeeping and service businesses, like communication is such an important part of the business. Mm-hmm. So I've seen people do it different ways. Some people don't have goals to have a lot of clients and they can keep smaller systems. And some do it differently. Some people have them all in Slack. Some people, they only operate on email. Some people weekly or monthly or quarterly calls. You mentioned Slack. So does every client you work with get their own like Slack connection and they can talk to you guys that way? And do you do anything with like organizing them in the sense of, okay, you said it 4 or 5 bookkeepers that work for you. Do each of them get a set number of clients and then they have a responsibility to communicate in Slack with those? I guess if you could just talk about the operations a little bit, might help some people.
Yeah, so for us, every client has their own individual Slack channel, private. In each channel is the executive assistant, is whoever the accountant is that I've assigned to that person, and then myself. Now, I myself don't look at the Slack channel because I've trained my team and I drilled this really hard in them. We believe in extreme. I don't know if you know who Jocko is. It's like this military guy who talks about extreme responsibility. Yeah. Never read a book, but I know that he talks about extreme responsibility is we don't do excuses. that if it's your client, then it's your client. I don't want to hear, oh, but you know that. Nope, it's your client. So on our side, the executive assistant is responsible for anytime they ask us a question. If she sees that we didn't respond within, a few hours, she's going to tag us and say, either accountant or Cameron, right? And I've already told them if she tagged me, don't expect me to answer. Y'all need to answer. So that's how we solve that. Do they still email us? Not really, because we're very upfront with like use Slack. There are a couple of people, they're typically the older ones that don't use Slack. They're more email driven. That's fine. But I think from a system standpoint of operations, you want to build a system where it's not completely and solely dependent on you. So that's how we built our business. So everybody knows if I got a question, I just go to Slack and they will answer. And of course, we answer a lot faster than most accounting firms, so they're typically happy. But I think you have to figure out what works for you. If you're not I'm a very personable and relationship driven person. So Slack works perfect for me. It ain't nothing but like business version of Messenger versus email. See, if I'm in my email, well, then I want to clean up my email, and then I want to go delete this, and then I want to organize it. That's why I'm just completely out of it. So I think you just have to build things from an operation standpoint. Right now, I may be the accounting manager, but if I weren't, what does this need to look like? And you just continue to build on that, and then you go into the different areas that you needed to be in.
Do you, with that many clients and that many like messages in Slack, there must be, a million unread messages for you. So like when you go into Slack or you see, where do you know to look? Is it just when one of your accountants messages you one on one, or just
Let
like
me
how do
look.
you
So I
know
can
where to
make
put
sure
your
I can.
attention?
So in my Slack, you can shrink those. So like I do have all the channels. So
Uh-huh.
I just minimize that. So it literally just says channels. The only ones you can start a channel.
Yeah.
So the star channels for us is we got a projects, a billing and collections, a needs actions, tax season, team, and a wins channel. And then there's one specific client that I have in here just because of special circumstances. Outside of that and the direct messages between like me and the team, like I may hit up Michelle, that's my executive assistant. Like outside of the direct for each of the team, those are the only things I see. So while they may be black, which means like somebody's talking, until you at me, I'm not going to see anything. So like right now, there's one at for one client. So I literally just see a one and
Hmm.
I can go check that. But I have fought the urge to not do that because until the team tells me, then there's no need for me to go in there. The team can go answer that, and then I would have wasted time. So
Yep.
I keep mine to where it's literally I can only see the star channels and my individual combos with the team. Everything else is what do you call it? Submerged, submerged. No, is condensed.
It's
That's
condensed.
the word I was looking for.
Got it. So
So that's how I just keep that from not hitting my plate. And again, the team has already been trained. If you cannot answer it and you've done the research, we do a 1-3-1 method. What's the solution? Give me three, or what's the challenge? Give me three solutions, and your one suggested. After you've done that, then bring it to me. But until then, go research it. We got SOPs that we worked on, videos of stuff I've done. Do all that first before you come to me.
I love it, man. Super helpful for any business owner out there. Cameron, what's the best way for people to get in touch, work with you, or check out your content?
To work with us, go to kinleyconsulting.com. That's KYNLI consulting.com. If you want to reach out to us directly, Cameron at Kinley Consulting would be the email address, CAMERON at KYNLI consulting.com. And we'll just get on a call, talk through some of the problems, what you're going through, how can we help you. If you're looking for like, ooh, what is some of this stuff that they're saying? Go on our Facebook page. We post free content all the time. That's if you want to get a feel for kind of what we do, what we talk about, how we help people. It's literally free. Just hit. I think now you can follow without being a friend. So if you want to be a little stalker, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But hit that. We try to post, 3 to 5 times a day and do things that give you value. I'm not going to say bookkeeping is great. No, we're going to go into case studies and things that we're seeing, or I just got off this call and blah blah blah, or things of that nature. So I think that'll give you a good feel for like, oh, these are the types of things they help with. And again, if you want to reach out, just send us an email and we'll get to you when we can.
Cameron, you the man. Really appreciate it. Um, Through one Cameron, I met another, and it's been really cool chatting with you, man, and learning about your story. So appreciate you coming on, and
Thank you for
we'll
having
link
me.
all that below. But just want to say, enjoyed the conversation
All right, man. If y'all need us, let us know.
for sure. Cool, man.